Dragging the age, the Veilguard has been humiliated by Farming Simulator 25. Now, I've played Farming Simulator games. They're not my cup of tea. They have their fan base, but imagine being BioWare, EA and BioWare, making a big, huge fantasy game like Dragon Age of Veilguard and having it completely flop. I know that there's alleged insider information that it sold 1 million copies, but guess what? That's still not going to cut the mustard with the profits. That's still not going to be the 4 to 5 million that this game needs in order to have a profit margin. This game, while it might be selling and not doing as terrible as people are claiming it is, it's still going to be a financial flop, and that's because of all the nonsense in it. Where in God's green earth have you ever heard of a farming simulator game outbeating a fantasy RPG? Anyways, this says it's gotten humiliated by Giant Software Farming Simulator 25. It had a peak player count of 126,761 on the day of release, dwarfing the all-time peak of Veilguard's 89,418. That's right. They still have not gotten past that 89,000 mark. So even if they sold 1 million units, I don't think that's including the refunds, which were allegedly over 30,000 of them. If you have 1 million copies of a game sold, how come your peak has only been 89,000? Now that's Steam, of course, but are you leading me to believe that there's at least another 900,000 people playing just on console? No, we're not getting out of here. We're not buying into that crap. This game is a financial flop. It has to sell 4 to 5 million in order to make its profit back, and that's not happening. So look at this. Giant Software released Farming Simulator on Steam on November 12th for $49.99, just $10 less than Dragon Age. On its first day release, the game hit an all-time peak concurrent player count of 126,761. As of writing, there's only 72,891 players playing this game. That's still just a little under 10,000 of Dragon Age's all-time peak. A game that probably took much more money, took a near decade of development, a game that's supposed to fucking sell millions and millions of copies, but instead it's floundering because people don't want to buy into this woke nonsense of misgendering punishment cutscenes where you have to take a barf and do push-ups and you have to be lectured. It's nonsense. In fact, I put on Twitter earlier today, I don't recall people saying much about the game beyond its creative character and the top surgery stuff and the barf scene and people saying that the game allegedly hates people that are white openly. So this is fucking pathetic for Farming Simulator 25 to be outdoing Dragon Age this bad. Now it says in comparison, Dragon Age Veilguard hit an all-time peak concurrent player count of just 89,418 on its first Sunday. That's almost 30% less than Farming Simulator 25's current all-time peak. Furthermore, Veilguard's opening day only peaked at 70,414. That's right, there are more people playing Farming Simulator 25 right now than the peak for Dragon Age on its release date of October 31st. Bad. And then again, allegedly, a lot of people played less than 2 hours of the game so that they could refund it on the digital storefront. A lot of people evidently aren't going back to continue playing this game. There's been people allegedly saying that they're bored of the game, the writing's bad. And again, the only thing that's ever sticked out is all the bad stuff. Like, I've never seen somebody praising this beyond the obvious Shield critic reviews where they're rating it like 9 out of 10. And even then, today, PC Gamer and IGN backtracked on their reviews where they tried to praise it and say that it was so great, and now they're saying it doesn't carry on the legacy of the game and that it's a conflict of its former self and all this stuff. Anyways, going on, it says, on top of Veilguard being humiliated by Farming Simulator 25, a new rumor claims that the game has finally crossed over 1 million units sold. It was previously rumored that the game had only sold about 500,000 units. YouTuber Endymion shared, in total, what I'm told is that Veilguard may have sold overall, so far anyway, in the 500,000 range, which may sound good to some, but this is completely abysmal for a game of this level. So this was seemingly affirmed by a second insider who informed Smash JT the numbers shared were accurate. So this is I guess a recent video where Smash also said his insider basically confirmed the information. saying that the numbers released are accurate and they're pathetically low for a very big, mass-produced, highly touted, praised to be great classic adventure that people would love for the ages have turned into what this stuff always does, woke slop that people sniffed out immediately. And then later in the video, he said the game had sold fewer than Star Wars Outlaws, which reports indicate only 500,000 copies have sold so far. And after hearing that news from Endymion, they couldn't help but reach out to a source at BioWare to find out if it was true. And according to them, it is confirmed. About 500 units have sold. Now, there's a recent update from Smash who's saying they've just been informed by their source at BioWare that they've updated over the weekend. It's now crossed over 1 million sales. While they personally still have their doubts to this number based on the surrounding circumstances, they wanted to pass along the info in interest of full disclosure to all. They'd imagine BioWare will be making a marketing push at some point soon with this info. So, as last I recall, they still have been pretty radio silent. We haven't seen any numbers touted. Again, when you get all this inside information and all this crap, it's all speculation, right? Nobody knows the truth until we get stuff out there. But how many of these copies sold are free keys that they've given away? I've literally seen PC companies giving free copies of Dragon Age. This is also on EA Origins, I believe, where you can play as long as you have a subscription to it. And then again, you got returns, refunds, people trading it in. Who knows what the real number is at this point? And again, if it sold 1 million copies, fair, right? If the user scores boost up and they're good, fair. But that doesn't mean that it invalidates anything that people have opinion-wise of this. That's where these people that want to stick it to chuds like Jason Schreier come into play. They think that, oh, it sold this, it has to be successful. No, okay, great. But that doesn't invalidate somebody's opinion just because they don't have legacy media or media access or any of this fucking crap. All right? People have the right to their opinion. I trust user scores more than woke IGN saying this is a 9 out of 10. Now, continuing on, it says, despite allegedly surpassing 1 million units sold, the game still likely needs to sell millions of more units in order to break even, given it was in development for 10 years and went through multiple iterations before becoming the Veilguard. It's quite likely the game has underperformed EA's sales expectations, and EA's chief financial officer shared during the company's most recent quality earnings call that they're expecting net bookings for the quarter to be between 2.4 billion and 2.55 billion, with it largely being driven by Veilguard and EA Sports FC franchise. So, yeah, it remains to be seen just how well it's done, but regardless of the fact, it getting demolished by Farming Simulator 25 is fucking hilarious, in my opinion. Like, how much of a failure of a game do you have to be? How many more times do we have to see stuff like woke ideologies being injected and fail and crash and burn for this modern audience that doesn't come out to support? How many times do we have to see this? It's getting better and better each time, in my opinion. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Subscribe if you're brand new. And, of course, as always, I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.